morning, everyone, and thank you for being there with us this morning. So I'm going to introduce the COESO project and citizen science with and within the social science and the humanities in 10 minutes. So keep with me for the fly. So COESO have three main goals. Identify the needs and challenges of citizen science projects in the social science and the humanities, develop the Vera platform, an online platform where researchers and other engaged stakeholders can find each other to build the citizen science project together. And finally, the goal to enhance financial support to citizen science projects. That is the reason why we are gathered today in this workshop. So COESO Consortium is composed of 15 partners, 4 third parties, 6 different European countries, and 16 new organizations distributed across 9 countries joined the family in 2022, following an open call for new projects. So the COESO project is coordinated by the School for Advanced Studies in Social Sciences through the Joint Research Infrastructures Open Edition. It is supported by the European Research Infrastructure Operas that will integrate the Vera platform among its services to ensure that this dimension of open science, that is citizen science, is supported by the infrastructure. I'm serving the three institutions, and as Jorge said, I'm the research coordinator of the project. So some keywords I used here: social science and the humanities, that are the disciplines on the researcher side of citizen science that we focus on within COESO. And you will perhaps hear me use an acronym that is SSH, that stands for social sciences and humanities, so I will keep it shorter sometimes. Then research infrastructures, that are organization that develops and maintains services in support of research practices. Research and society, that is one dimension of open science policies and activities, as Michael Arentoft just presented before me. So citizen science is one of the ways to connect research and society. Why within COESO we engage with funders? Supporting and increase participatory research in the humanities and social sciences, and also in the other disciplines, also happens through more funding. And to achieve this, it's important for everyone to understand what are the specific challenges and opportunities in funding citizen science projects. So a little list here what we have done so far within COESO, a report on current funding practices for citizen science, including the SSH, then an advocacy action plan, a national workshop in 4 countries, a policy brief summarizing the findings of all this work and suggesting some recommendations for funders, and today this workshop. So for today, I has been asked to introduce what is it citizen science in the social sciences and the humanities. As I said at the beginning, I have only 10 minutes. I have already spent at least 3. So should I dive into the 35 definitions of citizen science that have been collected in the paper you are seeing on the screen? I don't think I will do that, but in any case, take note of the paper. It is an interesting reading if it happens that you have some time to take a look. I will just take this one, describing participatory research, written some 10 years ago, so a bit before than citizen science as an umbrella term became more mainstream. It is not included in the 35 definition I mentioned before, and it is not mentioning citizen science, but in any case, it is fitted for purpose. So here they say there are many forms of participatory research, but they have all one thing in common: the acknowledgement to varying degrees of non-academic knowledge. So have we moved forward with this? As there is a lot of definition, this means that the large diversity of these practices has to be considered and acknowledged as each definition is an attempt to describe a particular way to do citizen science. So coming back to the description I provided, there is one implicit distinction inside, the distinction between two producers of knowledge, academics and non-academics. One thing that is crucial in every citizen science project, it is that people coming from different, let's say, social worlds are brought to work together on a same research endeavor. And for this work together, there is different names. So someone call it contribution, someone others call participation, others call it collaboration. During all these 2 years working on the matter of funding, we really understood that this diversity of ways to describe citizen science, also because citizen science projects are very often locally grounded. So this diversity is not a mistake that has to be fixed, but rather a core characteristic that have to be taken into account. So the answer to the question for us is actually no, we shouldn't fix that. Coming back, or rather sticking to our matter of contribution, participation, collaboration, there has been in the last year several attempts to describe the types and levels of this working together. I will not dive into detail, but what matters here is that we can divide these types in two main categories, two main groups: crowdsourcing and participatory research. I will come back to what the two means in 1 minute. So you remember the question, right? What is it, citizen science in the social science and the humanities? Well, I will not answer the question, in fact. I will rather change the question a bit and rather answer to another one, how it looks like citizen science in the social science and the humanities. A crowdsourced project can look like this one. For example, the Transcrime Bentham project is an initiative launched in 2010 whose aim is to engage the public in online transcription of manuscripts written by the philosopher Jeremy Bentham. Or it may look like the Citizen project that involves volunteers to identify, manage, and also protect, by this means, threatened archaeological sites of, in this case, the UK coastal areas. The Citizens project is led by the London Museum of Archaeology, and I may say that crowdsourced projects the question and the methodology, and then ask for contribution to collect a large amount of data that requires a lot of resources to be completed. Participatory research, instead, may look like this one. So here you have an example of a choreographer and a philosopher that are the two in the stairs before the stage. So the two works together to elaborate a new methodology to understand and tackle conceptual notions such as desire and recognition, and to teach them in a class, a philosophy class, or to express them through body language with dance. And developing this methodology, they can involve a large diversity of public within the whole process of the collaborative research. It may also look like this project where a journalist and a researchers went together to the field to understand and report the challenges of the social reuse of confiscated assets to organized crime, for enabling the possibility to apply such a solution in other countries that the country where they went, that was in this case was Italy. So in these two cases of participatory research that I show you, both parties are involved in the different phases of the research, from the problem definition to the data collection and analysis, and sometimes they also work together on a common final output. So participatory research, when pushed to its extreme possibility, can be described as a fully integrated activity where the participants can be involved in all the phases of research. So the two last cases are examples that are taken from COESO that has been designed to support participatory research. Because we wanted to dive into the specific challenges of the different types of collaboration undertaken by small teams at high intensity of collaboration. Some of these challenges you see they are listed on the slide are better understand and become used to each other's ways of produce knowledge, what we call epistemic cultures. Then the challenge of data sharing, the collection, the analysis, but also how we can share data among professional fields, and the formats of research outputs. COESO is more focused in participatory research, and the Vera platform is designed to support more specifically this kind of collaboration. Why? So there is no doubt that both crowdsourcing and participatory research can provide a relevant contribution to frontier research. But because participatory research is most likely to challenge the common standards, because it touches also the phases of the project design, it brings also more potential for innovation in tackling societal challenges. So understanding and assessing collaboration is an important part of the process. We summarize that specific point in the recommendation number 1 of the policy brief on fostering funding for citizen science. It appears also very important that the evaluation of citizen science project is done by an inclusive panel of people representing the diversity of stakeholders that can be involved in citizen science. So challenging the common standards, innovating, working at more scale, all this means also that a reflection is needed on the notion of impact or upscaling that may be used to assess the value of citizen science projects. But I will stop here for now, for today. I will leave the floor to the next speaker, but just one point to come back to the beginning. The beginning was about social sciences and the humanities. Infrastructural services for citizen science and open science, within which we find the relationship between research and society and citizen science. So opening up science is a great ambition. It asks a shift of the mind that is thinking, again, I would say, that knowledge is a common good, and citizen science is an extremely rich field where we can together put it into practice. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Alessia. Indeed, presenting all these